Hello, today is 3/19 of 26 and I am here with a video of what I eat in a day on my keto journey. If you're new here, my name is Christy. I changed my diet to a high protein, moderate fat, low carb diet in April of 2024. Around 9:15 this morning, I had my coffee, which I made with 1 cup of Fairlife whole milk, a tablespoon of MCT oil, a serving of collagen peptides, and a serving of whey isolate protein powder. I did also add a little bit of this Skinny Mixes sweetener to it. And then I had a donut from Conscious Comforts, which is a local bakery in my area that makes gluten-free, sugar-free donuts. It is currently about 12:30 and I am getting ready to have my second meal of the day. So, a couple of things. I am making macaroni and cheese for my kids. I'm using this Pete's pasta. So, it has 34 carbs with 27 fiber. So, you're talking 7 net carbs per serving. And then it's got 17 grams of protein. I have tasted it just because I'm testing it for doneness, and it tastes like pasta. It doesn't taste as much like fiber, like a lot of the other uh, low carb, which is low net carb, pastas out there. So I was really impressed with the pasta. I'm not actually going to eat it. It doesn't sound good to me today, but I was really impressed with it. And then I found this Prego creamy cheddar sauce, and I like to try new things, so I thought that I would give it a try. So I have tasted it. My noodles are still cooking. The picture here is of macaroni and cheese. To me, it's not a macaroni and cheese. It tastes like Cheese Whiz to me and kind of has like a powdery feel almost to it. Now, I will try it again once the noodles are done and just like see if, oh, but yeah, with the noodles, it's fine. But to me, it tastes like it would be better with like a nacho kind of dish or like a taco bowl kind of thing. It could be good in that form. I'm just not sure that it's going to be good with the macaroni and cheese. And then we are buying a cow or part of a cow. And so I need to get my freezer cleaned out. And I have a couple of meals that have been in my freezer that I want to get used up. So I have room for my cow. The first one is this Real Goods chicken enchiladas. So the wrap of this is made out of chicken and cheese. I've tried these before. They're okay. Like they're decent for a quick meal. They have 420 calories, 28 grams of fat, 9 carbs with 3 fibers, so 6 net carbs, and then 36 grams of protein, which is really great. The other one is this Atkins chicken margherita, yeah, dish. So I want to show you what it looks like actually, because a lot of times the picture on the box is not quite the same as what you're getting in your dish. Okay, so here they are. They actually do look similar to what you are seeing on your package. I'm going to try this one first because I've already tried this one. I know what it's like. But I will tell you about it. So it has 7 grams of net carbs with 27 grams of protein. The carbs are 10 carbs and then 3 fibers. There are 4 sugars. I don't know that it doesn't say added sugars. It just says sugars. But I, yeah, I'm not sure if it's added sugar or not. And there's just a big list. So the calories are 390, the fat is 28, and then, like I said, the protein is 27. So, like I said, there's a lot of ingredients in here. So definitely not something that like I would be eating on the regular, but I had bought it to have quick meals because sometimes I just need a quick meal. So I'm gonna try it. The flavor's not bad. The chicken's a bit rubbery, which I know it's microwaved, but like when I get factor meals, that chicken is not rubbery. So um, I guess I just it if you weren't someone who would normally have something like a factor meal, like a higher end meal, you might really enjoy this. But that chicken is a little rubbery. It's a little lacking in flavor. I feel like I'm craving some salt and maybe like some garlic powder, but it's not bad. Like if I needed to have a quick meal, it's gonna be decent. Um, I know this seems like a lot. Like this is 420 calories and this is 390, so I'm having 810 calories in this meal. But I intend to go to the gym and I will be there for like 2.5 or 3 hours. So I do want to make sure I've got plenty of fuel in me. It is 4:30 and I am making my last meal of the day. So I'm trying a new recipe. It's from Keto Snacks, I believe is the channel. I will link to it in the description below for a pancake bowl. I will also link to this recipe in the description below. I am cutting it in half, so I'm only making 3 servings. I have 3 glass, these are actually food storage containers. These are what I'm going to be baking in, and I've greased them with a little bit of avocado oil. I need 1 cup of Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt. So I'm using this Greek yogurt, and the reason that I'm using this and bought it was for this recipe. Rather than using the Okios Pro plain Greek yogurt that I usually do. And that's because the Okios Pro has whey protein powder in it. And that will mess up the baking, I think, because I can always tell when there's whey in a recipe. Oh, I need a measuring cup. I need 1 cup of my, okay. And then I need 3 eggs, which I have 3 left in my container, so that works out perfectly. Unless I, you know, break it before it gets in the bowl. Okay, so let's try and get this in without getting eggshell in there. Perfect. There is an egg in here, but it's cracked, so I'm not using it. And 1 more. And wash my hands. I need 2 tablespoons of sweetener, so I'm using a monk fruit allulose blend. And then the original recipe calls for 3/4 of a cup of almond flour. But that's like higher in calorie, and I know you can replace almond flour with coconut flour. And when you do that, it's not like a 1-to-1. So I'm not going to add 3/4 of a cup of coconut flour because that will really mess it up. But I think I can add 3 tablespoons of coconut flour and get the same outcome as using the 3/4 of a cup of almond flour. I just will have to kind of let this sit for like maybe 5 minutes and see how the batter is, like, because the coconut flour will like absorb some of that liquid. And then I might have to add a little bit of almond milk to it to like re-moisten it because it might just soak up too much of the liquid. So that's what I'm going to try. I'm going to try 3 tablespoons of coconut flour, and I'll add some almond milk if I need to. Okay, so I'm going to get these stirred together. Okay, and then I'm just gonna let this sit for, like I said, 5 minutes and then check it and see if I need to add that almond milk. I do need to add some baking powder, but I wanna wait to add that till the very end, and then I'll also add my blueberries. While I'm waiting for that, my son made a peanut butter banana cookie today, and I will link to the recipe in the description below, but I wanted to tell you my thoughts on it. So this is what it's like. He did get it a little overcooked. The recipe calls for whey concentrate, and he used whey isolate. So I think that's part of like the textural issue. It's not bad at all. It just like I can tell that it's like this whey isolate. I think the concentrate has like different properties and will bake a little differently. Um, it's pretty good. It tastes like banana bread with peanut butter in it, so it's pretty good. I just wish it had some salt to it. I wish there was a bit of salt added to the recipe. I'm not sure whether there is or not, but if there is, it needs a little bit more. And it could be the peanut butter that we used that, like I don't remember whether it has salt in it, but maybe it just needs to be a bit more salty. But it was actually a decent cookie, so that was pretty exciting to have. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes, and I actually don't think that this is like too thick. I think that it's going to be okay. So I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of frozen blueberries. And I'll just get these folded in, and then I will add in my half teaspoon of baking powder. And the reason that I'm adding the baking powder at the end is that it's something about it being dual acting. And so it like activates once when it hits wet, and then it activates again when it gets warm. And so you get more activation like if you put it in at the end, and then like it starts working, but then it doesn't like fizzle out because now it's been in that liquid for a while. Like it's still kind of doing its action, I guess. Like when you stick it in the oven. Okay, so now I'm going to split this up between my 3 containers, as evenly as I can get it, and I'm not very good at getting it evenly. Okay, I'm going to get these into a 450-degree oven and bake them for 25 minutes. All right, this is what it looks like out of my oven. I'm going to give it just a couple minutes to cool off a little bit before I eat it. Then I'm going to try it. I'm going to try a bite that doesn't have any blueberries in it so I can really like taste the cake part. Too hot to be eating. Yeah, it's too hot to really be able to say. Like, I think it needs to cool off in order for me to really be able to taste it. So I'm going to give it a little more time. All right, I waited a few more minutes. Now I can taste it. It's pretty good. Definitely get the Greek yogurt in there. I do wish it was just a little more balanced, like maybe another tablespoon of sweetener and salt. I should just add salt to everything because I'm always like, it doesn't have enough salt. So I sprinkled some salt on the top of it because on all 3 of the tops of them because it definitely needs some salt. I'm gonna try it with the blueberry now. My favorite part. Mm, that's delicious. Oh, I like that a lot. Um, I don't even think I need any syrup with this. Although some sugar-free ready would be good, but I don't have any, and it's not really necessary. It's really good. I am enjoying this. Like I said, I just think the cake itself needs a little more balance with just like a tiny bit more sweetener, like another tablespoon for the whole thing. Although that's a half of the recipe. Uh, and then some salt. It definitely needs salt. I kind of changed my mind about the pancake bowls. What I really liked was the blueberries. I liked the pop of freshness that I would get in a bite. The cake itself was just kind of there and okay, and a little tasted like yogurt and stuff. I think if I were to make it again, and I think I will try to make it again, I think what I will do is add some vanilla extract to the batter, maybe a little bit of cinnamon, and definitely some salt, and see if that can help so that the actual like cake itself is better. But I really like blueberries. So that was the part that I enjoyed was the blueberries. So I kind of just revised my thoughts on that recipe in and of itself. I ended up with about 1,900 calories today. My protein is 164, my net carbs are 41, and my fat is 113. I'm in a healthy caloric deficit, so that's fantastic. For my workout today, I walked for a half an hour with my weighted vest, which I think I have 40 pounds on that. I'm not positive. I did that this morning just to get some movement in. And then I was at the gym for a while and I walked on the stepper for an hour and 15 minutes at level 5. And then I just walked on the treadmill while I was doing work for, I don't know, it ended up like throughout my day, probably for like a couple of hours, maybe 3 hours. I want to say I did it on and off because I have a treadmill at home too. So that's what I did for my movement today. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow.